Massive thanks to the mad lads and ladies supporting the channel. The doggos say thanks. Hey everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, and today I think we're going to go ahead and catch a Rathalos. So this is from the Selfish Princess who just wants a pet wyvern. On one hand, I get it. I mean, I want an Asian water monitor. On the other hand, wow, what a rude person. But either way, I did say I was going to do all the quests, so this is one of the quests that I have to do. Now, those of you who have been on the channel for probably the last 6 or 7 months know exactly how far back my rivalry with the single-player Rathalos goes. And I was pretty excited when I actually got to beat him. Thankfully, this being a low-ranked mission, and I'm not really sure if they would provide the same thing in high rank as well, but with this effectively being a low-ranked mission, they do provide you with the traps. I already brought one of my own traps, so just as a backup, and if I run out of traps, I can just, or you know, if I use it and it doesn't work, I can just go back for that one. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop a couple of rations and see if we can get into this. Now, when it comes to the Rathalos, the biggest thing with him is he spawns in Area 6 usually. Unfortunately, he likes to fly around everywhere. The Gen 1, Gen 2 Rathalos is quite infamous for being a big waster of players' time. So don't get me wrong, his armor and sword and shield and greatsword and lance, they're all kick-ass, and they've always been pretty kick-ass, but unfortunately, the fight didn't really start getting fun, at least in my opinion, until the 3rd gen. Now, something I am surprised about is that there isn't any Velocipray here. Because usually there are. I mean, no matter the mission, usually there's Velocipray here. Except for the egg quests, that would be a situation where they'd hide the Velocipray and then make him spawn afterwards. But, yeah. Although, it looks like the Rathalos isn't here either. Since I haven't done the quest yet, I'm starting to wonder if maybe he just spawns automatically in Area 3 like he did in the 3-star missions. Or is it 2? Yeah, the 3-star missions. I know with us being on the 5-star missions, we only actually have a few to go. I am almost completely done with the single player. I know there's Gravios, Kezu, and I believe one other monster that I'll have to deal with later on, but right now at least, oh, he might actually spawn in Area 9. But I know that later on, you know, in terms of doing the full quests, like the single player quests, I'm almost done with them. There's a couple more, like I said, the Gravios, the Kezu, those are like secret quests that I have to unlock, so I'll work on doing that afterwards, but I'm probably gonna focus on getting my multiplayer character grinded up this weekend and go from there. Although, for a second there, I actually thought that cat was like a ghost moss mine, and I got very concerned for a second there. I was a little spooked. Now, something that makes this quest even stranger is not only is there a lack of Velocipray in Area 2, but there's also a lack of Melinks here in Area 9, which is really strange. I am starting to wonder if this was one of those Western quests ported over, and maybe they just altered some things to make it a bit easier. But I'm not entirely sure. I actually haven't seen the... I actually don't remember the 5-star quest too much from whenever I did it, because literally as soon as I unlocked the 5-star quest, I just immediately went to multiplayer to get some better weapons and armor. Now, I didn't realize that... Oh, there's the Rathalos. I actually didn't realize that pretty much getting the Rathalos armor, the low-rank one, would be good enough for me, but either way, I am just glad that I was able to get this dealt with and, you know, get the gear I need in order to, you know, get to this point in the series. Of course, this is really the big factor when it comes to dealing with the Rathalos. He does this thing called the World Tour Attack, where he'll fly up and out the way and then fly all the way around the map, and of course, people just don't like doing that. Honestly, I don't like doing that either. The only thing that really makes it worse is that 9 times out of 10, he usually, like, glitches, and then he, oh, let's just dodge out of the way of that. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, he glitches, and then he'll land outside the map. Or he'll do something like that, where he just flies around the world again. And, oh, I actually think he is landing outside the map. See, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but something I actually did forget about. Also, you can see a little gap underneath the world there on the left. That's pretty funny to see. But, yeah, I was about to say, if you actually leave the zone and then wait and then come back, that's usually a better way of making it, like, a few seconds shorter. But there's also the chance they could just fly off to somewhere else. And, if you don't have a paintball, that can be quite a frustrating thing to deal with in general. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and come up here into the cave, and then I'm going to use a first aid med, and I'm going to come back out and start the fight again. I'm not going to lie, I got distracted by some of the Velocipray. Since they don't usually respawn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of them out, and then I'll come back in here and fight the Rathalos, because I know that, oh, let me just dodge out of the way of that. Oh, I wasn't able to dodge out of the way in time. Because I know that once Rathalos does go to actually sleep in his little nesting area there, the Velocipray will jump around and stuff, and obviously that'll cause damage to hit the Rathalos and wake him up. Also, Rathalos does turn to the left, so I should have stayed on the right side. But, oh yeah, he's gonna charge again. No, he's gonna bite again. Interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get right over here. Yep, there we go. And then as long as you stay on his right side, it is kind of difficult for him to hit you. Although it can also be a little bit difficult for you to get some attacks in if he's using a slower weapon. Yeah, unfortunately, I actually got hit by his Talon attack. That'll actually cause poison, and I believe it almost always stuns you. So, oh yeah, and then he hits you with a fireball. That's actually probably gonna kill me. And that just goes to show if, even if you fight a low-rank enemy and you're using high-rank gear, which I'm not using high-rank armor, but I'm using a high-rank weapon, yeah, you really gotta be careful because they can do something like hit you with their tail, catch you in a combo, you don't, heal when you should have, then you go back and they hit you again, and then you try to go to heal whenever they, like, fly up in the air, and because you think you have a second, then they'll catch you with their talons, that poison attack, you're stunned, and then as you're trying to get out of that stun, you get hit with a fireball. And just like that, you're dead. So yeah, Monster Hunter, it is a game where you do have to worry about getting comboed by the enemy, because it is something that can pretty realistically happen. You just kind of have to be on your toes and try to make sure it doesn't happen. Alright, looks like it's time for round 2. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and do a safety paintball on this Rathalos, because he actually might be flying away, and if he does fly away, that's going to cause me a lot of problems if the paintball goes away. Yep, and just like that, that's pretty much what causes problems for a lot of people. He is going to Area 9, so I'm going to see if I can catch him there. Hopefully, I can get him before the paintball goes away, because if the paintball goes away, that's going to cause a lot of problems. That's usually what a lot of time is wasted on, is just kind of waiting for Rathalos to go around and do whatever, and then you got to, like, try to chase him around the map. And obviously, with him flying as fast as he does, that can definitely be a problem. So thankfully with me coming over here, he shouldn't aggro onto me until after I actually get in a view of him. So I'm going to go ahead and get up behind him and try to do a paintball. Because he is coming over here to, like, get some water. And I believe that, oh no, he doesn't really get exhausted in this game, but I believe in older games, or newer games, whenever exhaustion is a thing, him, like, getting water or eating a meal is used to, like, restore his stamina. And also make him enraged. But Area 9, Rathalos, pretty infamous combo. We are definitely going to suffer here, and it's going to be miserable, but hey, that's what we're here for, right? Alright, so actually what I'm going to do with Rathalos flying outside the map, I'm just going to go ahead and get some honey, because why not? Although it is a bit of a gamble doing it this early into the fight, because if he does get down there and start spamming, like, charge attacks and stuff, it can definitely be a problem. But since he didn't land, I'm just going to get out of the way of his inevitable charge attack, and then I'm going to come up behind him, get on his right side like I should have done before, and try to beat him up. Although it looks like he's going to be trying to do, oh, yeah, something, just like that. So you do got to be careful, because that's actually, I believe, his strongest attack, or like his second strongest attack. I'm not exactly sure what his actual strongest attack is, but I'm guessing that dive bomb is probably it, if nothing else. Something else I forgot about is I also have flash bombs, and those can be really useful in dealing with the Rathalos. So the thing with the flash bombs is that what you can do is you can basically just get them out of the sky. So that's probably what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can use some flash bombs to knock them out of the sky. I am running low on first aid meds and potions, though, so I'm just a little bit concerned there, but I'm not too worried because even if I fail, I mean, this would be my first fail in a while, because I am getting better at the game, but at the same time, my god, solo Rathalos is never not going to be miserable. Of course, he is flying away now, so he's probably going to go back to Area 9. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, because of course he is. Thank you, Rathalos. Thank you very, very much. I'm just going to go back and grab some honey real quick. I actually probably won't have time to do that, but at the very least, I will use a flash bomb to get him out of the sky and knock him down on the ground, because that will give me some free damage, and I will take what I can get there. Really, the biggest problem with this map here, or like with this area specifically, is that because of the way Rathalos works, he does a lot of like flying attacks, and he has that's what I was going on to say in like a couple episodes ago with the wind gusts and stuff, and how they can be used to enhance the game. They do objectively make the Rathalos fight worse, because when you're in a really tight area and you have a monster that has a lot of like hard crowd control, wind gusts, and he just flies around everywhere, then yeah, it can be really frustrating to deal with, because yeah, he just kind of flies around everywhere, and there isn't really much you can do about it. And of course, with that draining stamina whenever you block some of these attacks, or, try to block the wind gusts, it can lead to some unavoidable damage whenever he, like, does something with wind gusts, and then he, like, goes into an attack that does more wind gusts, and then all of a sudden, it's like you don't have the stamina to block it, so you're just kind of screwed. Alright, looks like he's going back to Area 4. I hope he actually stays there, because if he stays in Area 4, I can actually utilize the flash bombs effectively. Something else Rathalos isn't doing that he usually does is that usually he'll like fly up in the air and do like these triple fireballs or talent attacks. And I did the talent attacks the one time, but honestly, I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't expecting it because I didn't realize he was doing that. But yeah, it looks like, no, he's not flying away. Okay, good. But in terms of like actually fly up in the air and do that triple fireball attack where he can get to, oh my god, he is flying away, you son of a gun. But yeah, you know, he's actually not doing that a lot, so it's really difficult to, oh, he's actually going to his nest, probably to sleep, which is really tragic because he's not limping, and he's not going to Area 5. Where is he going? Okay, he's going to Area 6. I'm not exactly sure what Rathalos is doing, but unfortunately, I do need to go track him down, specifically for the fact that it's been a few minutes again, and I need to paintball him again, and this has taken a lot longer than I realized it would, and that is really tragic, because Rathalos keeps flying everywhere. Alright, so this actually isn't the worst place to fight Rathalos, simply because of the fact that, yeah, he is flying around now, so that'll make it a bit easier to, not flying around. This is an area where he flies around more, and also, on top of that, oh, I'm gonna have to actually be careful, because I need him to face me. Okay, yeah, it looks like he's actually might be leaving, which is really unfortunate, but in this sort of area, it's a bit wider, and I can actually fight him a bit better. Unfortunately, he's going back to Area 9. Bro, Rathalos, where are you going? Alright, I'm not exactly sure what the heck Rathalos is doing. I think he's actually taking a nap again, like I was thinking before. Unfortunately, that does mean I cannot catch him right now, because his health is still way too high for me to catch him. I think he's only about down to maybe 60% health or something like that, which is really tragic because I'm already almost halfway through the mission, but Rathalos keeps flying around and wasting my time, and because of that, obviously, my hunter won't get up on the ledge, and I can't actually catch him. So I'm actually in a dangerous position here. I need to dodge out of the way and try to get on his right side. I actually might not be able to. Oh, okay, actually, never mind. If he would have done his little spin tall attack, he actually would have hit me there, but I'm going to try to stay on his right side again. Unfortunately, with him being enraged, I don't really have enough time to do much in terms of getting damage in, so unless he flies up so I can use a flash bomb, I'm kind of stuck just waiting for his rage mode to end, because the problem with him being in his nesting area is that he likes to fly around everywhere, and because of that, okay, that's actually really good. So I'm going to go ahead and use a flash bomb, which will knock him on the ground, and then I can finally do some damage to this dude. The thing is, with his, you know, with his foot, whenever he taunts and calls at the ground, it does do damage and knock you back, so you do have to be careful of that, and he likes to spam that attack. The problem is, if you stay on his left side, he also likes to do his tail attack, but I actually got pretty lucky there with, you know, with him not doing as many bite attacks. But yeah, he's just kind of, like, throwing it in my face, so screw you too, Rathalos. But, yeah, I just gotta be mindful of not getting hit by those charges, by the feet, by the bites, because altogether, those can definitely cause a lot of problems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for him to fly up into the air again so that I can use another flash bomb. But it does look like his rage cycle has ended. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and use this chance to use a flash bomb and get him back down the ground. That is my last flash bomb, unfortunately, and I actually believe I could have gotten a full stack out of my chest, but I'll probably try to risk it and get some free damage in here on the left side, because it doesn't seem like he's going for a spinning tail attack much. Which I could have sworn he does a lot whenever he does get flashed. Yeah, there it actually is right there, that spinning tail attack. So if you stay on his right side, he'll do the taunt. If you stay on his left side, he'll do the spinning tail attack. And if you stay in front of him, he'll do the bite. But with him doing the fireball here, that does let him get some free damage in. Obviously, though, I do have to be really careful because he can charge into me or do that fireball attack right there. I don't really like fighting him really up close against the wall, though, because that does limit my ability to maneuver, so that's the biggest thing I'm trying to avoid, is having my ability to maneuver limited, because as soon as I get caught against the wall, that's where I die 9 times out of 10. Alright, so the biggest problem with the walls is like what happened right there. I was actually trying to kind of maneuver out of the way, and the camera got caught on the wall, which got me hit. Objectively, it was the camera's fault there, because obviously with the camera moving, or with the camera getting caught up in the wall, that made me change direction, and that put me in the way of Rathalos' charge attack. So I'm not really a big fan of the camera in this game. It's quite miserable to deal with, and it can just cause a lot of problems. And yeah, this is another reason why I don't like being around the wall. See, what you really want to do is you want to bait out Rathalos' charge attacks here on this side of the walls, and then whenever he goes to charge at you, you want to try to get some damage in on his right leg. Of course, if you get caught up in the wall, that can cause a lot of trouble, but with him being over there, or over there, that's really where it gets really difficult to deal with him here in the nesting area. Because if you stay too far away, he's going to do fireballs at you. But then at the same time, if you try to bait him out, he might do a charge attack, and he'll go all the way over there, and it can just be a whole mess and a half. So, it has been another few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and use the safety paintball. I can't remember if they're 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so I'm just spamming them wherever I can just to be safe. Looks like he is actually leaving, so since he's going out to Area 4, I'm going to try to hurry up and meet him there. I'm not exactly sure where his health is at, but he'll definitely start limping whenever his health does get low enough. Unless he's actually enraged, because if he was enraged, he wouldn't be able to limp. Although, at the same time, I believe monsters, I've made monsters get to the point where they are limping while they're still enraged, so I just have to kind of play it safe as much as I can. Yeah, so just like that. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more damage in on him, and then after that, alright. So that should actually be a pretty safe point. The Velociprey should be gone, and since the Velociprey are dealt with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for Rathalos to go back to Area 5, and as soon as his icon turns blue, that's whenever I'm going to run in there and basically just throw down the trap and then use the trank bombs. Alright, so his icon is blue. It's actually pretty instant, like literally the second it turns blue, you can just run in there. The problem with that is that these Velociprey have unfortunately respawned. If they wake him up, that's going to make this a lot more difficult to deal with, and then obviously this messed up camera against the wall is going to make the Velociprey a lot more difficult to deal with as well because of how maneuverable they are. Hopefully, this Velociprey doesn't do his jump attack onto Rathalos and wake him up. I'm going to have to try to... See, that's what you want to do if you want to play it safe. Just kind of like literally sprint around the arena and try to blitz them all down really quickly. So that's probably why they're running Velociprey in Area 2. Because the way the developers tried to screw you over this time is that they're basically like, okay, so we're going to put respawning Velociprey in Area 5, and you're just going to have to contend with them, and hopefully they don't wake up Rathalos. But with him being knocked out, hopefully that'll actually complete the mission there. Although, that's actually really concerning because... Oh no, that's actually really concerning. So, I'm not exactly sure where he is in terms of the stats of the trap, but I'm going to try to use the paintballs again. Hopefully, that actually does it for me. Okay, that's actually really bad. Here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a paintball, because I only have one more shot at this. I'm going to use a paintball. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to Area 1, and I'm going to get a trap. I'm going to have to do some more damage to Rathalos, because... usually the way it works is that as soon as he falls asleep, that is whenever it ends, and that's whenever the mission is complete. So now he's freed from the trap. So I'm going to go back to Area 1. I'm going to get my trap, and then we're going to have to blitz him down a little bit more. As soon as we blitz him down some more, that's when we'll be in better shape and we'll actually be able to capture him. But it looks like whenever he slept, he was actually able to restore some of his health. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more damage to him. And it's going to be really difficult just because of the fact I'm going to have to try to blitz him down enough to where it doesn't kill him, but I can actually capture him. And it's going to be really hard finding that point without something like a health mod. Alright, those are the pitfall trap. I'm actually going to have to grind for some more well-done steaks, because as soon as that bar goes down, I'm probably just going to go ahead and use the other well-done steaks. So, I'm not exactly sure if Rathalos is regaining health drinking water over in Area 10, but I'm going to sprint over there, and I am going to beat the ever-loving snot out of him, because I have actually no patience for this. If I end up using my last two trank bombs and it doesn't kill him, or not kill him, but capture him, I'm probably just going to go ahead and kill him out of spite, because I am really not in the mood today. Alright, so I've actually got Rathalos knocked down. I think it's the first time in the quest I was able to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and try to take advantage of this to blitz him down a little bit more. Looks like he is going to get enraged, and that is going to make things a fair bit more difficult, but I'm going to try to see if I can get him down a bit more. I'm not exactly sure if he can get enraged whenever his health is low, but at the same time, the best thing I can do is just try to hope for the best. Also, these Palico are definitely going to get in the way if I let them, so I do have to pretty much balance out the Palico with dealing with the Rathalos, because, yeah, that is, see, it's stuff like that where I get combo because of the Wingus. That's where I was going on ranting about how it's not exactly fun and it doesn't really add anything to the fight. So, it looks like Rathalos is going on his world tour. While the Palico try to hit me, I'm gonna use this chance to try to leave the area, maybe? Oh, actually, he's coming back, so... Okay, actually, no, probably not. Alright, so now Rathalos is flying back down. Like I said, just try to stick to that right side, even though that Wingus is gonna hit me from... Wow, that was actually quite far away. And then see if I can beat him out. The problem with Rathalos being here is that not only do the Palicos get angry if I attack them, but if the Rathalos' wind gusts hit them, they'll still get angry. So it looks like Rathalos still isn't far enough down yet. I'm going to try to beat him up a bit more. I'm not exactly sure where his health is or when it's, whenever it sets itself or how it sets itself, but oh, I'm not actually sure where he's going. Okay, looks like he's going to Area 4. I really need to try to catch him and then see if I can get him whenever he's limping. Because like I said before, the problem with those Velociprey is that they can hit Rathalos and wake him up while I'm setting down the trap. And then next thing you know, you're sitting there having to stand for the Rathalos, dodging all of his attacks and trying to get him charged into an attack that, half the time it's only 50-50 chance he'll actually dodge into, because sometimes the game AI just likes to mess with you. Of course, Rathalos is doing his whole thing. Probably going back to Area 9. Yep. So that's going to make this a lot more difficult. Area 9 is really the hardest place to get damage in on Rathalos because the Wind Gusts, mixed in with the combos, mixed in with a really tight, limited space, means that you're really not going to be able to do much to damage him while he just kind of flails around like a wild animal, which, I guess he's a wild animal, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Honestly, this is the most miserable experience I've had in Monster Hunter in months, and I actually absolutely hate it. So yeah, just like that, he's gonna do his little thing. He's probably gonna charge now, so... Oh, no. Actually, no. He's gonna get the tail attack in there. Now he's probably going to do his fireball. Yep. And then after that, he's probably gonna go into a charge to catch me off guard. Yep. He actually did catch me off guard, because I wouldn't expect him to do it instantly. But, yeah. Like I said, that's how I get comboed by Rathalos, and he is not a fun monster to fight at all. But you can't really do anything about it. You just gotta kind of try to meet him on his own terms, and hopefully you don't absolutely suffer. The best thing to do is try to bail a charge attack in one direction or another, where you can try to get on his right side and do some damage to him. But whenever he gets to that loading zone over there, or just any loading zone in general, that's where it's the most difficult to deal with him. And of course, with him being right here, it's just really difficult to get damage in on him because you can't hardly see him. There's like no space to do anything. So the best thing you do is try to get around here, and then whenever he stops, block. I didn't block quick enough, so obviously I got hit, and I'm actually out of potions, and I'm probably going to die. And if I die, I'm going to be really upset, but at the same time, yeah, okay. Thankfully, that actually got me. I'm just going to go ahead and try to block, and hopefully I don't get killed. I got killed. Yeah, that's really tragic. I'm probably going to accidentally kill the Rathalos just out of pure rage, but there isn't really much I can do about it. Alright, so unfortunately it looks like he is enraged again. I'm actually really close to running out of time, so I'm going to have to try to get this done, like, now and get it out the way, because I am not in a really good position here, and I do not want to deal with Rathalos again. But I don't really have too much of a choice right now. It is what it is. I'm going to have to try to beat him up, and hopefully he doesn't cause me too much trouble. It does look like his rage cycle has ended, though, so I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, he's actually limping right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get a bit more damage in on him, although he did get a nice fireball in on me there. And with him, flying up in the air like that, he's probably going for the fireball attack. Oh, or actually he's going for the reset. What I want to do is I want to try to get some damage on him before he runs. Yeah, so it looks like he's running now. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this potion and try to get some damage on him real quick before he actually flies away, because whenever he's limping away, that can actually do some damage to you. Boom. Okay, so that wasn't really much damage, but there isn't really much I can do. What I'm going to have to do is try to beat up the Velociprey as quickly as I can once more, and then I'll use the trap on Rathalos, do a little bit of damage to him, and then try to use the Trank Bombs. I'm probably going to do like 1 or 2 full combos on him, and then after that, I'll do the Trank Bombs. But actually, it's like he's coming here first, so that'll give me a chance to still do a bit more damage to him again. I'm not really sure how fast he heals, but I'm just going to have to see what I can do in order to actually get some damage in on him. Because, yeah, like I said, yeah, that's really not good at all. And honestly, I'm probably not going to save this if it does fail, because, yeah, I wasted a trap, and I also all my potions and all my well-done steaks, so... The problem with the Velociprey being there as well is if they do hit him while he's in the trap and starting to fall asleep, he will wake back up. So another thing I might do is I'll probably just kill a couple of them and then throw down the trap and then kill the rest while the trap is deploying. Then do a little bit more damage on Rathalos, and then after that I'll capture him. But it's going to be like a really, really tight thing, because I think he's like right below that threshold where he is falling asleep now and limping. But I'm not exactly sure how much more I can actually do without accidentally killing him. So, something like Velociprey being here, big old problem there. But there isn't really much I can do. I'll just have to come over here and then hope they don't actually damage the Rathalos while I'm trying to kill him. But I know this is my problem before, and yeah, caused a lot of issues, but, well, I might have to pull out the Greatsword all over again, and if that happens, that's going to be a big, 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 big problem. But like I said, I'm going to try to get like 2, maybe 3 full combos in on him if I can, and then if that doesn't kill him, well, my chances of doing this quest go down to 0 because I only have 2 Trank Bombs left. Yeah, and also there's that stun there that wastes a little bit of time, so. There's one. Alright, one more. Alright, now the Trank Bombs. And then if he breaks out of his trap, I'm kind of screwed. So let's go and do the Trank Bombs. Hopefully that actually kills him and gets this quest done. Yes! Finally, 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 finally. Oh my god, I never want to do this quest again. I don't know who that princess is, but I'm going to kindly punch her in the face for being a little brat, just because I'm mad at this Rathalos. I wouldn't actually do that to somebody, though. Somebody asked me to do a favor for them and they were a dick, I'd just say no. Alright, I'm going to call it right here. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below on, I don't know, my skill issues or something, I guess. I hated this so much. And, yeah, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. That's it. If you want to join the community of Monster Hunters, as well as me whenever I do these multiplayer missions, feel free to check out my Discord, linked in the description below. We play all the Monster Hunter games, and it's a very welcoming, very amazing community, so I do highly recommend people join. And, yeah, if you want to support the future of the channel, check my Patreon, linked in the description below, or leave a super thanks, or whatever else you want to do, or become a member, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.